Have you ever wondered what it would be like to hook a car battery to a chimpanzee high on crack? Well, that's what it's like playing this 5-star character. This little 4-foot-tall walking nuclear disaster is a damage-dealing demon with mood swings that can only rival my toxic ex. This sweet little gremlin stomps opponents by smashing them steadily with her stuffed animals, Cosmos and Cloudy. Yo! Good meowing YouTube catters. Here is the guide on how you too can strike terror with this short stack and build the ultimate ankle biter DPS, Encore! And of course, as always, if you enjoy this video or it helps you in any way, leave a like and subscribe and comment down below. Now let's get into it. Encore is the 5-star fusion hyper carry DPS who uses a, okay, I still don't know what the hell these things are. She has an insane damage dealing output window, and her Resonance Liberation, Cosmos Rave, will have you melting bosses faster than you can say Wicked Whittle Black and White Woolly Stampede. Oh, let's just get into our kit. Encore's forte gauge is pretty straightforward. You do damage, meter go up. Everything from her basic attack, heavy attack, resonance skill to her intro skill will increase Encore's mayhem. When her mayhem gauge is full, you can cast her heavy attack to trigger the world's strongest nuclear headache. Encore enters a mayhem state, reducing any damage taken by 70% and exploding either a single target or targets all around you, depending on if you're in her Resonance Liberation, for a massive amount of fusion damage. The neat little trick about this ability is that switching to another character does not cancel this move, so you really want to save it for the end of her long burst window. But more on that later. Encore's Resonance Liberation is the meat and potatoes of her kit design. Or should I say, stuffing. Get it? Because stuff animals? Okay, anyways. Encore's Resonance Liberation, Cosmos Rave, has her perform her best Iron Mouse impression, going absolutely gremlin mode. When activated, Cosmos Rave replaces all of her other attacks and abilities with supercharged versions dealing extra enhanced fusion damage. While normally Encore's basic attack style is a much more mid to longer range, when you pop her Resonance Liberation, Encore likes to get up close and personal for her damage, jumping from enemy to enemy at supersonic speeds that would make a Saiyan blush. Encore's Resonance skill ability, Flaming Woolies, fires 8 long-range projectiles at an enemy target, dealing a large amount of burst fusion damage. You can also follow this up with an additional attack, Energetic Welcome, by hitting your Resonance skill again for a huge amount of additional burst damage. During Resonance Liberation, Encore's skill becomes Cosmos Rampage, becoming an even more powerful ability, dealing a burst of fusion damage 4 times within a single strike. The cooldown for this ability is near non-existent during Encore's Resonance Liberation, so you can just kind of mash it to your heart's content. Also, an important thing to note is that when you enter Encore's Resonance Liberation, it resets the cooldown on her Resonance skill. Make sure you use it prior to popping her ultimate for more optimal damage. And finally, Encore's intro and outro skills. While her intro skill, there's not really much to discuss, her outro skill generates a thermal field AoE circle around a single target, dealing a healthy amount of fusion damage to all enemies inside of it for 6 seconds. This is a great little additional bit of damage, as you can switch back to your support characters to reapply team-wide buffs while also building Concerto energy to make the switch back to Encore faster. Encore's Resonance Chain 1, Woolly's Fairy Tale, when Encore's basic attack hits a target, her fusion damage bonus increases by an additional 3%, stacking up to 4 times for 6 seconds. This is an overall damage increase of 12%, and this is very easy to obtain from her ultimate state, where she's just spamming out basic attacks over and over again. Her Resonance Chain 2, Sheep Counting Lullaby, Encore additionally restores 10 resonance energy when casting basic attack Woolly's attack, or Resonance skill Energetic Welcome. This can be triggered once every 10 seconds. A Resonance 3 chain, Fog, the Black Shores, increases the damage multiplier of her heavy attack, Cloud Frenzy, or heavy attack, Cosmos Rupture, by an additional 40%. This makes that nuclear charged up ability even more devastating against enemies around her. Encore's Resonance 5 ability, Adventure, Let's Go, provides a team-wide buff for Encore and gives her even more utility, giving her heavy attack Cosmos Rupture a 20% fusion damage bonus increase to all of her team members for 30 seconds. This is especially useful when you're tagging her out during this charged up animation. Her Resonance 5 ability, Hero Takes the Stage, increases Encore's Resonance skill damage bonus by an additional 35%. And this is also important to note that it increases the skill damage during her Resonance Liberation as well, since that does scale with Resonance skill damage. And finally, Encore's Resonance 6 chain ability, Woolie's Save the World. During Resonance Liberation, Cosmos Rave, Encore gains 1 stack of Lost Lamb every time she deals damage, and each stack increases her attack by an additional 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Again, this is very easy to accomplish and get all 5 stacks, increasing her attack by 25% during her ultimate, as she's just spamming out attacks. For skill leveling, you will want to focus on Encore's Resonance Liberation, basic attack, and then Resonance skill, and finally her Forte circuit, of course prioritizing any new unlocked inherent skill on the tree. For Encore's weapon stats, ideally you would want something like crit rate or crit damage as the optional secondary stat, but I believe the only available weapon like that right now for rectifiers is inside the battle pass. Well, until Yinland comes home. For Echoes, there is only one 4-cost option for fusion characters right now, and that is the Inferno Rider. Like any hypercarry DPS class, you will want to prioritize crit main stat for your 4-cost Echo, whether that be crit rate or crit damage, and then of course crit substats to pair along as well. For 3-cost Echoes, you want fusion damage bonus as your main stat, and for 1-cost Echo, attack percentage as your main stat. For Encore, there's not really a completely wrong answer when it comes to DPS offensive substats. Everything helps her kit scale in some way, but for more optimal damage during her Resonance Liberation, you'll want to prioritize these stats: crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, basic attack damage bonus, Resonance skill damage bonus, and then finally Resonance Liberation damage bonus or heavy attack damage bonus. Basic attack damage bonus is actually a really strong stat for Encore, since during her Resonance Liberation, the additional fusion damage from her main attack string is considered as basic attack damage. Interesting to also note, Encore's Nuclear Headache Explosion scales with Resonance Liberation damage if you want to get a little silly and see a big number go up. Encore's most optimal team lineup currently is Verena, because of course she is, I swear this character, oh my god. And actually Sanwa, as Sanwa's outro skill provides a basic attack damage deepen to Encore when she tags in, which is the majority of her kit. Encore is an amazing 5-star hypercarry DPS, and one not to be overshadowed completely by Kalchara, who's also on the standard banner. Her fast and high octane burst playstyle is very rewarding to those who can manage their party-wide buffs and damage window timings, making her an incredibly dangerous and also very worthwhile 5-star to invest into. Oh, and did I forget to mention she's just absolutely adorable? Anyways, that's my time. Remember to leave a like and comment down below. Did you happen to win Encore in your polls? Or let me know what character you would like to see me cover next in the future videos. See you next time.